Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing absolutely fine. So today we are going to talk about what is smart grid. So before starting with today's video, I would like to tell you that those who are new to the channel, do subscribe. Here basically we talk about all the topics related to electrical engineering. So if you have any topic on which you want us to make a video, then do let me know in the comments. So let's start with today's video. So today we are going to talk about what is smart grid, and these are the following points on which we are going to focus. First is the introduction of the grid, which is a conventional electrical grid, and next is the need of smart grid, that why you need the smart grid, and then what is exactly a smart grid, what are the components of smart grid, and then what are the challenges are on the way of setting up a smart grid. So we'll start with the introduction of conventional electrical grid. Our conventional electrical grid is an interconnected network which connects the generating stations to the end users via transmission and distribution system. So basically what happens, normally before there were centralized power generating stations which used to feed power into the grid so as to supply to the consumers. So there is a team of engineers which are always working and monitoring the load demand, okay, and they are also forecasting the load. Depending upon the different time slots, the load will be different, so they basically monitor and forecast this load. Why they do this? So that the grid is always stable, because the sudden change in the load will change the voltage and frequency of the grid. So it is very important for them to monitor those, and they also provide the inputs to the power generating station so as to change their generation as per the requirement of the consumers, so that the grid is always maintained in healthy and stable condition. But suppose what happens, because of human error or because of some situation, the load, there is a sudden decrease in the load, the voltage will rise. So such situations can happen, and which will lead to problems and disturbance in the grid. So that may be because of some situations or because of human error. In our day-to-day life, it is very important to have a reliable electrical system or electrical grid, and we need to have reliable supply for all the consumers, okay, for the factories and for the commercials and for the residential as well. So what happens whenever, suppose there is a situation that the load demand is increasing but the generation capacity is less, so what they do, they cut off the non-essential load, maybe some part of the residential area or some part of the commercial area which is not required, okay. There are some failures as mentioned here. First is brownout. Brownout is basically the rise in voltage and frequency, or like the change in the voltage and frequency of the grid because of the change in the load. Next is blackout. What happens, suppose I said because of some situation or because of human error, okay, the proper actions are not taken to balance or to match the load as well as generation, then there is a load on the grid, so that can lead to failure of all the generating stations, and which can lead to blackout. And next is load shedding. Because all these things, okay, this management is done manual, so what happens, whenever the load demand is more, they cut off the power from some non-essential areas or maybe residential areas, so that leads to load shedding. But what we expect, that in the smart grid this will not happen, and this will not be manual. So now we'll discuss about smart grid more in detail. So the smart grid is basically it is going to be a advanced electric generation plus delivery and consumption system. So the energy is basically going to be monitored, okay, and it is going to be metered and managed properly. So I'll tell you what happens here. Basically, a lot of data is going to be exchanged from the consumer end to this electrical end. There is going to be a bi-directional data communication. Currently what is happening, the meter readings or the whatever the load is, that is monitored by the LD or the load dispatch people, and according to that they are trying to manage the generation as well as the supply, okay. But by using smart grid, there will be a bi communication. So there will be smart meters, and there will be various sensors which will be placed, which will be used or across the transmission line or distribution system, so that all this energy which is generated by power stations, that can be utilized effectively. So there is another change in the trend. So like I said before, that previously there used to be centralized power systems, sorry, power generating stations, okay, but now the trend is changing, okay, because we want to increase the reliability of the grid, as well as we need to have a reliable supply, and we need to lessen the failure rates. So now we have distributed power generating station. That means we have various generating stations, whether it be from solar, whether it from wind, or whether it from another source. This smart grid will manage all those power generated by this generating stations, which can be used effectively. As we all know that now we are changing towards renewable energy, and many of the renewable energy sources do not provide, do not generate power in all times of the day. so they have certain limitations. Okay, they require certain conditions. At that particular time they can provide that much of power. And the next is they do not provide constant generation. To use this renewable energy sources very effectively, you need to have a very smart system, okay, that can match up to this variations and that can take decisions. So for this you need basically artificial intelligence, because humans cannot process that much kind of data, and it's very difficult to come to a decision. So for this particular smart grid, you will be having artificial intelligence, and suppose the load management, like diverting the power in case of failure at particular location, so that decisions plus other decisions will all be taken by the artificial intelligence. And this system is said to be self-healing and self decision making. So all the data which will be gathered from the sensors and kind of smart meters will be used to identify the peak load time and the off peak time, and then again the consumers will be motivated to shift their consumption cycle to from peak periods to off peak periods, so as to manage and make use of the renewable energy sources as well as other like energy generated effectively. So what happens basically, whenever this energy is utilized very effectively, the cost of the power generation decreases. So now you can see here, I have mentioned all those points here. First is balancing supply and demand, then next is stability and safety, as the grid is going to be in healthy conditions, most probably because of the automatic and proper control in the smart grid. All the grid is going to be monitored properly. Okay, the voltage, the frequencies and other parameters are going to be monitored, as well as the actions will be taken automatically depending upon what the situation is. So it will always maintain the stability and safety of the grid. We'll talk about the components. First is sensors, then smart meters, and of course there will be wireless communication. And as I said earlier, to process all kind of data gathered from sensors and smart meters, you will require artificial intelligence. So next, there is a comparison between the conventional grid on the left side and the smart grid on the right side. You can see that previously here there were few large power generating stations, but now there are many small power generating stations like the solar, the wind, the nuclear, etc. So this is the first difference. Second is centralized, mostly national. So this system was to be centralized, but now it's not centralized, it is decentralized. So because of which there will be in case of any failure, the power will not be cut off for the whole area, but there will be, as there are many power generating options, so the route can be changed and the power supply will always be maintained. Next is based on large power lines and pipelines. So before, the transmission line used to be for several hundreds and thousands of kilometers, because the generating station were located at the far location from the city. So now, as you have the solar and the wind and other options available, the transmission system will be small and there will be regional supply compensation. And as there is also going to be a battery storage or energy storage in future, I mean during the peak load or off peak load, if the generation is high, then that will be utilized to store it into the battery, and that can be used later on. The next is top to bottom. So the distribution is from power generating stations to the consumers. Okay, this is generally the workflow. But in smart grid, there will be a bi-direction workflow, as the energy generated by the solar. Now most of the industrial as well as commercial as well as residential, they are installing solar. So suppose their facility is not having the load, then that power is fed into the grid. So it is basically a bi-directional activity. So here you can see that previously you were just paying for the bills, okay, but now you are active and you are participating in the system. You are taking the power from the grid, as well as you are feeding the power into the grid, and as well as you are also storing the power. So this was a brief comparison. So now next, here is just a diagram for you to visualize what a smart grid is. So you can see here many of the power generating stations. Here you can see wind generator, then you have the photovoltaic, that is solar, or you can consider any other renewable energy source. Okay, then here is a nuclear power plant, and here is thermal power plant. Basically this, you can see here that the generation is not centralized, it is decentralized. You have a lot of options, and the locations are also very much different. So in case of any failure, in case of a big plant failure, still you can manage the load and the supply by using the other generating options. As we all know that the electrical vehicle is also coming into picture, so the demand of power is going to increase. So it has become very important for us to manage whatever power is generated effectively, because yes, we are setting up of new power plants, okay, but it is also important for us to manage and use the power generated effectively. So for that, the smart grid will communicate you to shift your load consumption from peak hours to non-peak hours, so this generated power gets utilized effectively. So what are the challenges for setting up a smart grid? So basically, I said earlier that the infrastructure is very old. Our present infrastructure of the grid is almost 100 years old. The aging is also one of the factor, so it is very important for us to monitor all the conditions of the grid, so as to avoid a big system failure. And next is, it is a high investment. All the components of the transmission line as well as distribution system, like the substations and the other equipment, should be monitored. So all the sensors and electronic systems need to be used. So this is basically a high investment. And next is cyber attack. As all this data, from the user data is going to be online, the grid is going to be online, so it will be subjected to cyber attack. As this it is handled remotely, anyone can interfere into this kind of data and try to hack the system and try to control the grid first. And other is, they can use this consumers data, and they can know whether the people are present in their home or not, so that can lead to other possibility of crimes, robbery, etc. Now many people are working on this security of the grid, so in future we expect that still there will be a good security which will save us from cyber attack. Smart grid is very important for us, and microgrid is also an essential part of the smart grid, okay, which is basically leading to the decentralization of the power. So I will be discussing more about the design consideration of a microgrid. This was a basic idea about how a smart grid works. So if you want to know more about microgrid, do subscribe to our channel and also click the notification icon, so that whenever I upload a video, you will be notified. And guys, give us your honest feedback in the comments. Even if you like the video or dislike the video, do press the thumbs up or unlike the video depending upon your choice, and also give us the comment so that we can come up with better videos. And if you have any topic on which you want us to make a video, do let us know. Thank you.